Welcome to How to Run Profitable Retreats podcast, the podcast that guides you not to only host retreats that thrive financially, but also transform people's lives. I'm your host, Leni Cavazos, and each week I bring you the best strategies and personal insights to help you create retreat experiences that transform lives, both your clients and your own. In our journey together, we'll dive into the secrets behind successful retreats, from crafting a unique atmosphere to mastering the logistics that ensure profitability. Whether you're tuning in for inspiring interviews with leading retreat experts or seeking actionable advice in our solo episodes, this podcast is your go-to resource for turning your retreat visions into reality. Don't miss out on any of our episodes and subscribe now. For more tools and a free guide on creating your own six-figure retreat business, visit theretreatplanner.com. Now let's get started and make your retreat dreams come true. So welcome everyone to another episode. And I am here today with Daisy Papp, and I'm so excited to have her and her energy and her unstoppability for all of us to get this feeling and this excitement from what she does. And she has so many degrees and so many things that she has practiced, but just so you know a little bit more about her before we start this conversation. So she's German native, and she has dedicated her life to helping others. And she is the founder of Self-Recording, and it's a program designed to heal past, clear the present, and generate a predictable future in the shortest amount of time. That sounds awesome. And she has extensive training in many fields like NLP, EFT, energy psychology, and she has proven her record in conducting seminars and workshops worldwide. She is the author of several best-selling books sold in over 50 countries, and she produces her popular podcast, Bold and Blunt Mindset Evolution. So definitely go check out her podcast, because she's awesome and you want to hear more about her. And she has an expertise in mindset evolution and is changing the lives in 95 countries. That's a lot. I'm so proud of you. And her art is exhibited in prestigious galleries across the United States. Daisy's mission is to empower people worldwide and promote human values to build stronger societies that care. So thank you so much for being here today. Welcome. And I'm so excited to have this conversation with you.
Thank you, dear Leni, for having me, and thank you for the introduction. It is impressive how you read that one after the other. Well, I truly appreciate connecting with you again. We had some conversations already behind the scenes, and we met a few times on Zoom, and I very much appreciate, because I do believe that we have many values in common, and we have some vision in common. And I think that is what is so, so important.
Well, thank you for being here and for sharing your energy with all the people listening to us. It's going to be such a fun time to spend together. And tell us a little bit about values, right? I think it's something that's so crucial in this world, and we really have to experience it. And it's something that we all need to strive forward. So it's such an important topic. So tell us a little bit more about it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I think that's a good way to promote it. So human values, what are human values? I believe, to me, by my definition, and I accept when other people define it differently, but let's go with a general definition that can be broadly accepted. What makes us human? So the values that make us human, the good values that make us human. For example, our lovability and our care, that we are communicators, that we are curious, that we are innovative, that we are creative, that we are really helpers. I think as we come into this world, it's innate that we like helping and we like supporting others, and we also like to be helped and be supported. It's a giving and receiving. And I see that the human values are endangered globally, and some other values are tried to be put in place, and I disagree with that, because nevertheless we are humans, and which other values could be more valuable than human values? And I think, to cut it very short, it may sound a little complicated, and listeners, if it is not clear, then maybe you rewind and listen to it one more time. I believe that humans who value human values live by the standard of human values. Therefore, they will be able to value humans. And when valued humans are running our world based on the standard of human values, everything else falls into place. I wonder if you can see that, Leni.
Yes, totally. Like, I do believe that we have something that differentiates us from animals, right? From plants, from rocks, from anything else. And is this space for us to discern, to have a consciousness, to be aware, to make our own decisions, free will, right? And it's so important for us to be able to really own it and make the best out of it and really become human. And by being human, it means understanding that we're not all in the same situation, and it's okay. Like, it's part of the evolution of who we are, but it doesn't mean we need to make a difference. Like, we all have these innate, gift and right to be valued, to be taken into consideration, to be treated fairly, to receive love, to be able to give love, to have the power of giving love to others, right? To honoring and respect every single human being, animal, plant. It is our right, but it's also our commitment and our what is the word I'm looking for? Like, I have it in the tip of my tongue, right?
Maybe
It's
duty?
like, it's a yes, that's the word. So it's also our duty to honor it and to respect it and to really embrace it and do our best.
Yeah. I think it is important that we become more humane, and all the other things will fall into place, into a humane place, meaning we will then honor the oceans, we will then respect nature, we will then respect one another, we will then see that, yes, it's my responsibility what I do with my free will. I agree with you, free will. We are free to choose. We're never free of the consequences.
Oh, yes.
And that's an important part. And then comes the self-responsibility. I like the play on words. Responsible is so responsibility. It's the ability how I respond to outer circumstances or even inner turmoil. And when I take full responsibility and I train myself, I educate myself in that field so that I can respond differently. My abilities increase how to respond in different ways to circumstances that are out of my control. So I can continue focusing more on those circumstances that I can control. Then it also includes that we all have it, I'm the first to admit, that we treat our emotional backpack with care and tender love and take an inventory. What is it that we carry with us here in our heavy backpack, emotional backpack? And then let's have a look at it. What is it that I still want to keep? That's still supporting me? What is something that I can release, that I can transform? What is it that I can archive? And what is it that I just throw overboard because I can recycle it or I can trash it, I can make a fire, whatever that is. But really to empty out that emotional backpack. We're all traumatized. I'm the first to admit. Why do I know that we are all traumatized? Because we're all born. And birth itself is traumatizing. Yes, oh, absolutely. Because let's face it, we grow up in this 5-star hotel in mommy's womb. We're never alone. We hear mommy's heartbeat, and the hips almost provide like a sound system, like a headset, where we hear the heartbeat and mommy's mumbling and mommy's words and how she's walking and talking. And we can grow. The temperature is always set. We're never hungry. We're never tired. We are never lonely. So these are super important qualities, and we are spoiled in the 5-star hotel of mommy's womb. And then comes the big moment, come into this world, and over it is. We all of a sudden notice warm and cold. We notice brightness and darkness. The dimmer doesn't function anymore. I mean, mommy's natural dimmer. And we feel alone. We feel abandoned. So the connection is lost. And that's causing a lot of problems later on when we don't work on empowering the connection and reconnect with the source where we come from. And I'm not solely speaking of reconnecting with mommy, because sometimes it's impossible due to several circumstances. And to really look, what are we? Not who, but what are we? And then decide that we are who, how we behave.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
when I take that on, that I am not who I was born to be, and I am not who I'm told to be, I'm not who my parents wanted me to be, or my husband wanted me to be, or my children wanted me to be, in case. No, I am how I behave. And that is something that's fully in my control, which comes with big responsibility, because then it stops, the comfort stops that I can blame others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So first of all,
Circles
I
back.
really love the way you break the responsibility, right? So the ability to respond. And it's something that is like, it has been very clear to me in the last couple of days. And, I always feel that, the universe, the divine, whatever, however you want to call it.
Yes.
Always is sending me different signs beforehand. Even we have a conversation, there's different things that came together that are like, okay, this makes more sense, right? So the other day I did a post like for one class for my retreat business and everything, right? And then a lot of people were like super positive about it. Like there was a lot of like positive response. People were like, oh yes, I want it, this is it. And there were other people who start saying like horrible things, right? And I was like, I had to sit down and be like, okay, I get to choose how I respond, right? Another time, maybe in the past, I would have been like, delete the comment or whatever, and just not say anything. And I was like, well, I'm going to speak my truth. And if the person still doesn't get it, they don't get it. It's okay, right? So exactly. I took a moment, I responded from my heart. I said what I wanted to say. And then still they went on and on and on. And I'm like, well, fine. They don't know me. I'm not gonna now respond more because I'm just feeding this energy of someone who doesn't understand me and it's judging me, right? Before they even know me, before they even know what am I about, right? If they met me and they hated it, then okay, fine. You have your right to your opinion. It's part of it. But if you don't even know me, like you're the one who's judging, not me. I am here. This is me. I'm not changing who I am for anyone. Like this is my person. This is who I choose to be because it's a choice, right? Yeah. And with these choices, of course, it comes the responsibility again of like what happens, right? I remember in the past, sometimes things would happen and I knew my choice was not the best one. And I still chose to do it. But then I was like, I own the things the consequences that come with it. And then I never felt guilty because I knew that it was wrong. I knew the consequences would not be, but I still chose to do it because I wanted to. Fine. But I was like, then after it's done and these are the consequences, I own them, right? They're mine. Like I created them for myself. And then that's it. No more judgment, no more this. Either you learned your lesson or you didn't. Then if you didn't, you go again and something will happen.
Another round.
You get another round until you get it, right? Sometimes it's like, it's also fun to make the wrong choice in a way, right? Like, of course, like small things, like never into like a huge thing of like creating something that harms another person, right? Yes, like always with this very clear line that my choices should have consequences for me and not for the others, right? It's a thin line that you can cross. And it like this makes so much sense to be more proactive rather than reactive with our actions.
Yes, totally. And I'd like to speak not to, but about when somebody comments or when we are in a situation where somebody is judgmental towards us. and how we can respond to that in a very simple way. Because, and I usually have an orchid here, and I have one. I'd like you to describe it to me just for a moment, what you see.
Okay, I'm excited. All right, so well, I see first, it's an orchid. It's inside a white pot, right? It has 3 green leaves, dark green. It has 2 stems, and then from these stems, the flowers come. Each flower has, I can see around like 3 big petals. It's all white, right? I see it very, very white. I see there's some bulbs for the orchid. From the side that I can see it, I can see one orchid facing towards me. The other ones are facing in other directions. And yeah, it's growing. I can see that there's gonna be more orchids coming from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, no worries. She's used to that. It's just an experiment. Now,
Yeah.
I'm making this as an experiment that I describe it to you.
Okay.
This is an ugly, useless growth, and it's a dust collector. I don't even know how something can be so ugly. And whoever chose it, how can they possibly surround themselves with something like that? Now comes my question. Did the orchid change?
No.
Aha. So next time when someone says something about you, doesn't change you, unless you start participating in the change process.
Right. Yes.
So when I have the right, she knows that I'm kidding when I do that because it's an experiment. I have the right to my opinion, and you have the right to your opinion, and we both have the right to not agree.
Yes.
And all I can say then, thank you for sharing your thoughts. I have a different point of view, and I respect yours. It's like when you have a sailboat on the water and the wind is blowing and the sails are up. That boat can go places. When you stop the wind, that sailboat can have the largest sails in the world. It's going nowhere. So when we don't blow and put that energy out, and no, but I didn't do that. Who are you to think that I was doing that? Can you mind read? What do you believe that I'm wanting to say with that? No, why would I do that? That's all wind. And it's noise pollution oftentimes. And no, they have the right to their opinions. Now, everyone expressing their opinions actually reveals what they hold within about themselves and about the world and about humans. And you can see a lot of things that might have happened. It's not about guessing and mind reading, but based on experience, hurt people. So allowing the orchid herders, I mean, not physically, but verbally, let them be. And maybe that is the beauty of our responsibility, that we can respond in a different way without going onto their frequency levels, because they have much more practice in fighting the battles on that level that is so unfamiliar to us. I'm not sure if that is really valuable to any of us to start learning that frequency and
Oh no.
to be able to fight. There are better things to do, I think.
Oh my gosh, 100%. And I really love the way you explained it, and it's so powerful for everyone listening, right? And I think it's like a lesson and something that we need to be reminded of. Like, and I'm sure everyone who's listening right now is like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed to hear. Right? Because it's exactly what I needed to hear. Like,
Good.
it's like, I'm like, oh yes, this is exactly it. Right? And it is so true. We don't want to like bring ourselves down to the level of other people. We want to keep going forward and just elevating, because at the same time, like we spoke at the beginning, it's all about the vibrations and how we create this as a ripple effect, right? If we are all, I don't know, watching the news every day, what happens, right? I haven't watched the news in like, I think maybe 13 to 15 years.
Good.
Because I just realized it made me upset. It like actually removed joy from my life, right? Because I was like, oh my gosh, this is happening and that's happening and this is horrible. And I was like, why do I put myself in that situation, right? And I have, for example, the case of my grandma. She lives watching the news and she's always thinking about all the horrible things that are happening. And, you know, when I show up to her place and she's watching the news, I'm like, I don't watch the news. Could you please switch them off? As simple as that. She's like, but why? I'm like, because I want to have a conversation with you. Or we can watch a movie, or we can do something different. You can go and watch your news later, right?
Yeah.
It's okay. Like, I'm not telling you not to watch them.
Yeah.
That's your choice.
Very good.
Right? Yeah. But when we're together, let's not.
Yeah. Yes, because that is your responsibility, that you make a clear agreement, even with grandma. Grandma, I love visiting you, and these are the rules. Otherwise, I'm not going to visit because I'm not interested in the news. And I rather enjoy time with you because I value you much more than the
all those things
thing on the wall.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, this is so beautiful. I really like, I think it's so important, right? And then something else that I picked up that is very, very like for me was very, very like such a strong example was, you know, we're in this 5-star hotel when we're inside our moms, and then we're pulled out, right? Because really birth is traumatizing. And like a couple of years ago, I went into this women's retreat, and we did this kind of like a Jansu practice, like a water practice, a rebirthing practice. And we went through the like the birth mother canal to have a different experience, right? To relive and then remove the trauma from our birth. And it was like, honestly, it was so powerful. I was like, and it was kind of like in a style of like a constellation, because other people were holding you, you know, and but they didn't know anything. And I remember I spoke with the guide and I told her, like, I don't know, you know, when I was born, I was like a C-section. So this is like, I never went through the birth canal. And then I had the umbilical cord around my neck. So it was kind of like, you know, I'm not sure if this is like, you know, gonna work. Like, I don't know. I was a little bit skeptical, I have to say, because I was like, okay, this is a little bit of my comfort zone for sure, right? And she's like, well, don't tell anyone, because this is very an energetic work, right? So they're gonna feel how it works and how it goes and everything. And I was just like, okay. And I went inside, and honestly, I felt like I was choking. I really relived my like birth, but then I was able to like come through the birth canal, and it was just so life-changing, because I was like, that's what I was supposed to experience, even though it's not like super, you know, like this. And there were these sisters in the retreat that they were also did the exercise. And one of them, when she was coming out, like the people like just closed their arms, and her foot got stuck, you know. And then she came out, and her sister was just like, that's exactly what happened at her birth. You know, like her foot actually got stuck, and then it wouldn't come out because, you know. And then it was such like beautiful also to see how like in reality it happened, right? So all these activities that we can do to bring like this space where we accept, right, that we are now in this earth and that we get to make the best out of it. That yes, it was
we can choose,
but it's in the past. And now consciously and aware, we get to see, well, I'm not there anymore, but look at all the beautiful things that are here out there that I get to see, because I'm not in this 5-star hotel anymore.
Yeah, but there are different things to discover.
All the colors. We get to see beautiful orchids, right? That we don't get to see when we're inside our 5-star hotel. So I feel it's so powerful for us to really come into this realization that as much as there is trauma and there is hurt, there is so much more beauty
Yeah. And I think that even though you have not experienced the birth canal physically at your birth, that doesn't mean that the energy of that experience cannot be expressed through you. Why do I say that? As we now know from epigenetics, that trauma can be inherited, and that's very real.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we can have fear of things or responses to things that we've never experienced because it is energetically still expressing itself through us based on our ancestry and their lives and their life experiences. And I like to use, in cases like that, or when it comes to stories like that, the simple procedure of inverse. It's a method that works with frequencies. Everyone can do it. You can find it. It's complimentary on my website. You can find it there. And it is such an easy process. And all we do is actually, when we look at the law of resonance, that, for example, have you ever seen a sound fork?
Oh
You know,
yes, I
when
have
they,
some.
yeah.
I'm a sound
Oh yeah,
healer.
because you,
So
yes, because you play the little how it's called,
I have a gong and I have a bunch of instruments and I have tuning
instruments.
forks.
Yes, exactly. So now the tuning fork usually is tuned to the tone A. So let's say we have two tuning forks tuned to A, and one is there, and we put it in a wooden pedestal, and nobody touches it. It's at the other end of the room. And here I hit my tuning fork here at the edge of my table or the edge of my desk. Ding. Now that one tuned to the same thing is going to start vibrating in the same way. Now, meaning the law of resonance is very real. And what am I resonating with? What resonates around me, I cannot change, but I can change that I no longer resonate with it.
Yes.
That's the self-tuning.
I love it. I love the way you explain it because you're talking my language.
Good. Oh, yes, I knew that. I knew that because we spoke before. Yes, you talk my language too. I very, very much appreciate, Leni.
And
Yes.
I think this is something that it's so important. And I was teaching a class earlier today, and I was so excited, and it was like such a beautiful class, and I just enjoyed it so much because it was exactly like that. I say like the people who show up here is because we're resonating in the same level.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't resonate with me, that's okay. No judgments. You know, if you don't want to work with me, that's also fine. I'm not gonna push you to work with me or to say, I'm not going to tell you there's only a certain amount of spots left and this is it. And I'm not. If you resonate with me and you like what I teach and you feel that there is more to learn from me,
Yes.
and we
Yes.
can grow together, and I'm going to learn from you and we're going to work together, then you're welcome. If you're not, the door is big.
Yeah.
No one is going to say, oh my God, you should have worked with me. It's your choice. It's not mine
Yes.
to make.
Haha. It's even bigger. It's not only the choice, it's their responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all back to theirs. Look, in the past, I believed that I could teach. And I apologize to everyone who I remembered I said that in the past to, because I realized I cannot teach anyone anything. What I can do, I offer knowledge to be acquired. And my responsibility is to offer it in the easiest and most understandable way, logical, brain-friendly, because I know how the brain can memorize things. And it's my delivery that's my responsibility. The moment you take it off the plate, it's yours. And what you do with it, it's yours.
I love the way you explain it, because for me, I feel like, okay, I'm very good at this. And I'm like, well, I think the word that describes it is like teaching, because there's no like specific word that like
Exactly.
describes it, right?
Yes.
Like, but it is this, it's like sharing knowledge. And that's what I do. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna show you this, right? I'm gonna tell you from experiences. I'm gonna tell you stories. you might resonate with some, you might not with others. Something might click.
Yeah.
And then it is your decision and your intention what you do with this, right? If you go and you run retreats and you actually get your investment back from my program 10 times, I'm going to show you how, but it doesn't mean I'm going to do it for you. It's you who get to do it and make it a reality if that's what you want to do. If I'm not pushing anyone to be like, this is what you're going to do and this is the way to do it. I show you different ways and you choose which one works for you, because what might work for me doesn't work for everyone.
Yes, and every situation is different. And then once you offered them the knowledge and they took it, then it is their responsibility to take action upon. Because otherwise, if you would do it for them, then that's a different workshop that you would offer, or a different knowledge that you offer. I mean, then it's a business concept. Okay, I do your workshop, I get 30% or 40%. Go ahead, I do it for you. I'm going to organize it for you. And I heard that you are capable of doing so. So in case somebody besides me is interested in that part.
Thank you. This has been such a powerful thing. And I really feel like, we really went into the space of like this responsibility, and how responsibility is the ability for us to respond. And it's so powerful. I think it's like, if anyone listening to this just gets this message across, oh my gosh, you're already on the other side. Like you're one step beyond where you were before you heard this podcast episode, right? So it's absolutely amazing and it's so wonderful. Is there anything else that you want to share?
Maybe one thing. I think it is really time to find out what are the human values that you cherish, that you enjoy, that you promote, that you live by, that are your standards, and cherish them and applaud them when you see them in others. And let's celebrate these human values and make them our standard, and hold other people accountable when they do not live by human standards, or leave them be, because time is priceless. You cannot get 1 second back. There's no amount of money that would buy you back time. And I think it is, again, our responsibility that we spread the human values. Why? Because humanity is at great risk. And I believe only human values can fix it, because then everything else falls into place. And that's every single one of us. It's his own responsibility. You are just as responsible as I am. And I do my part, and I wonder if you do yours, dear listeners.
Thank you so much for this, Daisy. This has been absolutely amazing. And please go check out her podcast, Bold and Blonde. It's so amazing to have you. And imagine if we just, all the things that we got just from this conversation, if you get to hang out with her all the time with her podcast. So thank you so much for your time. And how can people find you if they want to learn a little bit more about what you do?
Well, the easiest way is to really put in my name into any search engine, Daisy Papp. It's Daisy, and my last name is Papp. And you can also go to the website daisypapp.com. You can find everything there, because it's sort of an umbrella website. You can find everything about self-recoding, where I work one-on-one, where I do workshops, where I do seminars, where people can become an organizer. When they have a crowd, I'm more than happy to serve them. And it's a business model where they also can make a revenue. If they don't want the revenue, then they can choose a charity to where they want to donate that, because that's the offer. What they do with it is their responsibility.
Right.
And I do still one-on-one sessions. It depends, of course, who I can help, and is it a good fit, and does it fit my schedule? And of course, there's the podcast, Bald and Blonde, and you can find that also on the daisypapp.com website. And you also can find the frequency modality that is called Inverse. I developed that like 2 years ago, and it also has an application in the App Store or Google Play, but there's also a way how on the web that you can use it there as an application. And there's a mini ebook that you can download for free, and you just go there and you can find everything and anything. And if you look for something that you can't find, contact me anyways, because if I cannot serve you with it, I certainly know people who may be able to do so.
Thank you so much for your time, Daisy. It's been a pleasure to have you here in this episode
Thank you.
today. And thank you for everyone for listening and for spending your time with us. And I hope you got some useful and juicy knowledge that you can implement in your life. See you next time.
Thank you.
Wow, what a great episode. If you like our podcast, How to Run Profitable Retreats, leave us a review and share it with a friend.